Yo, what's up, guys? Fantastic win tonight for the Toronto Maple Leafs, defeating the Edmonton Oilers 5-2. Now, guys, it is so typical Toronto Maple Leafs to win the last three games in a row right before the Olympic break, just after everyone had said, including myself, that, you got to trade guys, start selling players, start moving pieces, start retaining assets and draft picks, all that stuff. But typical of this hockey team to have a solid night tonight against the Oilers. Obviously, you beat Calgary. Now, obviously, the Maple Leafs still have a mountain to climb. I still don't expect the Maple Leafs to make the playoffs. Of course, there's just too many teams ahead of them. You got to win so many games. You have to hope for so many other teams to lose. But this was a fantastic performance tonight by the Maple Leafs, guys. You had Anthony Stolarz returning to himself from what he was doing last year, having a fantastic game tonight, guys. Great game by Anthony Stolarz tonight, making, I think, 34 saves tonight on 36 shots. So he was absolutely immense tonight, Anthony Stolarz. And give Connor Ingram some credit as well. I thought he was really good for the Oilers at points in this game until the Leafs were able to get those two goals on the two-man advantage in the third period, of course. But this game here was electric from the start, guys. Leafs had some great chances early on. Domi had a chance in front. Robertson had a chance in front. Nick Waugh had a chance in front. Some really good opportunities for the Maple Leafs to start the game off with the goal. But then, obviously, Edmonton had some great chances as well. Obviously, McDavid was flying in this game to start. Stolarz had to make some big saves as well to keep it at 0-0 in this hockey game. The Leafs had some really good chances, I felt, early on in the game to get a goal, guys. But unfortunately, was able to stay 0-0 for that first period. But a really great pace of the game, back and forth hockey game. Both teams were flying out there, getting opportunities. Both goalies were making some great saves. And it was a great game in general the entire night. So, in the second period, as we saw, Leafs had an early chance. Bobby McMahon on a breakaway. Unfortunately, he doesn't score there. Leafs also had a couple 2-on-1s in this game. I saw Nylander Michelli have a 2-on-1. You saw Lawton and Lorentz have a 2-on-1. So, more chances for the Maple Leafs in this game. It seemed like Connor Ingram was stopping everything at one point in this game. But then, luckily enough, Leafs were able to break the deadlock as Jake McCabe got the puck from the point there, shot it, and Matthias Michelli, who had scored last game against Calgary, makes a nifty play, putting the stick between his legs, tipping it over Ingram there to make it 1-0 Leafs. It's a great goal by Matthias Michelli, who I thought had a really solid game tonight, guys. Spectacular game by him, having 2 goals tonight as well. Obviously having another goal tonight in the power play there in the third period there to make it 4-2 Leafs. But great goal for Michelli there, to make it 1-0 for the Maple Leafs. But then, unfortunately, as we saw, Edmonton are a really good offensive team, get a lot of ozone time, push the pace. Stolarz makes a great save on Connor McDavid. Then after the Leafs lose the draw, Wallman gets the puck at the point with a great slap shot. And Stolarz is unfortunately doesn't see the puck till late. It beats him and ties the game up 1-1. It was a really unfortunate situation there for Anthony Stolarz. But luckily enough, the Leafs responded very, very quickly. The quickest goals in the NHL this season, guys. 9 seconds apart. Matthew Nyes, Leafs dumped the puck in there. Ingram makes a bad mistake trying to pass the puck to Darnell Nurse there. Leafs are able to pick the puck off. I think it was Nick Waugh makes the pass to Nyes. Nyes is able to beat Ingram to the puck, deke him out to make it 2-1 for the Leafs. A really great goal for the Leafs to get back in front there. Great response from them after giving up the tying goal there to get the lead right back there was perfect for the Maple Leafs, and the Leafs were playing well, continuing to get chances on net, guys, continuing to push the Oilers there. John Tavares had a great chance as well in this hockey game, guys. So the Leafs had ample opportunities to score goals tonight. They could have even scored more than 5 goals tonight, but Ingram made some great saves. The Leafs did miss the net a couple times, which was frustrating to say the least, but nonetheless, guys, this was a great performance by the Leafs, and it continued in the third period, of course. But unfortunately, the Leafs would give up a tying goal first to, of course, ironically enough, a former Maple Leaf, Kasperi Kapanen, is able to beat Max Domi there with a very, very lazy play by Max Domi there, just to try to stick his stick out there and poke Kapanen there. It's Max Domi is such a detriment defensively for the Maple Leafs. You saw him on that play there. Kapanen snipes it top shelf on Stolarz to make it 2-2. But then, as we saw, ironically enough, the Leafs finally get a power play for the first time, guys, in 4 bloody games. Three games out of the last 4 No power play for the Maple Leafs. We saw the Leafs get a power play. Then Matthews drew another one to get a 5-on-3 power play. Only the second time this year the Leafs have had a 5-on-3 power play, guys. And the Leafs did not disappoint. Finally, on a 5-on-3 power play, guys, taking advantage of the two-man advantage, guys, there. Leafs did a great job finding a way to get 2 goals there, guys. You know, just incredible goals for the Maple Leafs there, guys. You get the great pass by William Nylander to John Tavares in front of the net. Their great tip by JT. What a pass by William Nylander. Continuing to pass the puck and facilitate it beautifully like he did last night against the Flames. Continuing tonight with that pass to John Tavares to make it 3-2 Leafs. And then Max Domi redeeming himself after that horrendous defensive effort for the tying goal for the Oilers. He makes a great pass to Matthias Michelli there on the corner there to make it 4-2 Leafs there, guys. And it was a great power play for the Leafs. Leafs did a great job shutting down the Oilers for the rest of the period, guys. And how about McDavid and Draisaitl? No bloody points in this game here. Give credit especially to Jake McCabe, who was on Connor's ass all night tonight. Neutralized them at times in this game, if not majority of the game. McCabe did a great job in this game stopping McDavid. Draisaitl didn't do much. He had one opportunity where Stolarz absolutely robbed him on the corner there. So great job by Stoli to make the saves when he had to. Most was absolutely immense night for the Maple Leafs, guys. And as well, you know, give the Leafs credit. You know, winning 3 straight on the road there after losing that first game to Seattle. You go into the Olympic break feeling good about yourselves, you know, winning 3 in a row, you know, after getting spanked by the Oilers here in Toronto. You go over there and spank the Oilers back. It was great to see, guys. You know, you got some great performances tonight by Nyes, who had 2 points tonight. Michelli had 2 goals. I thought Brendan Carlo played great tonight. McCabe, Stetcher, everybody was good tonight. There are no complaints regarding this hockey game. You know, Carlo, he laid out McDavid, got into a scrap with Nurse. You know, I'm glad McDavid is okay because, you know, we got a gold medal to focus on, you know, in a couple weeks' time as Canadians. So glad McDavid's good. You know, glad he's not hurt. You know, even Crosby got hurt tonight a couple times. That was worrying to see, but glad McDavid is okay. Love seeing Carlo get into a fight. I don't know who Darnell Nurse thinks he is, though, since he got laid out by Ryan Reeves. He thinks he's a tough guy now against the Leafs. Good try, buddy. But honestly, guys, you know, the Leafs, after, you know, this homestead that they had, the road trip that they have, like I said, you know, there is still something to behold with this hockey team here to see how frustrating they can be losing 6 straight and then winning 3 in a row, winning 3 of the last 4. It's typical Maple Leafs. You know, we got to see what Brad Treliving is going to do. He should be looking to trade some assets still, if you guys ask me, because unless the Leafs go on some type of magical run, which they could possibly do. I don't expect it to happen, but you never know in hockey, guys. But as long as a certain somebody is not playing for the Maple Leafs, who knows, guys? And this is your PSA again regarding number 44. I don't know what they're going to do with this guy. I just don't know. Because tonight was another indicator that you cannot have 44 on this hockey team anymore. You just can't. I am more than willing to buy a Morgan Riley and eat the money that he's making. I just am, you know, or somebody we eat a quarter of it or half of it, trade him to somewhere. I know he's got a no move clause. I'm not naive. He would have to be the one to agree to the move. The Leafs can't go there and force him, but I just genuinely think this franchise needs to do something with Morgan Riley. We have a Morgan Riley problem here. We have seen this game tonight against the Oilers. The Leafs were able to hold leads, you know, no turnovers, no stupidity tonight with McDavid. You see with McDavid tonight, Riley's not on the ice, so McDavid can't have fun tonight. It's another example. What a detriment, what a liability Morgan Riley is for the Maple Leafs. 2 full games and a third period without him, and the Maple Leafs have won all those games without him in the lineup. I don't know what they're going to do, guys, after the Olympic break. It's just bloody ironic. He gets hurt right before a 3-week break. Now, he's going to come back, screw up all the vibes, and he's going to ruin everything. You know, that's just typical of what he does. Now, at the end of the day, though, guys, we got to wait and see what this hockey team has planned after the Olympic break. But right now, we just sit back, see what this management has planned, see if Canada can win a gold medal. But you got some great performances tonight. You know, guys like Matthew Nyes, who really needs this break tonight. He dramatically needs a break. Even though he got 2 points tonight, been dealing with the knee injury as we found out today. So Nyes has been battling through this knee issue. You know, I'm not surprised he has looked a shell of himself this season, guys. So hopefully these few weeks can give him some time off and find a way to get back to himself. Even guys like, McCabe could use a break. Stolar is obviously just getting back. This is great for him and Joe Wall to get a rest as well. Obviously, Matthews, Nylander, and Oliver Ekman-Larsson are going to Milan to play for their countries, of course. So those guys are going to be playing the next couple weeks. You got a guy like John Tavares, who absolutely needs a break after scoring tonight as well. JT could use a break. All the older veterans could use a break right now. This is a perfect time for the Maple Leafs to take this break, even though they've won 3 in a row. Everything, guys, regarding this team right now is still very questionable. What is Brad Treliving going to do? What does management decide? What they do at the deadline? I don't think they're going to be adding anybody at the deadline. That would just be stupid. Like I said, unless they go on some type of run, to say the least. But right now, guys, we'll enjoy the win tonight. Next 3 weeks, Leafs are off. We'll see how Canada does. The Olympics should be fantastic after what we saw with Four Nations last year. It's going to be some electric hockey, guys, to say the least, And guys, we'll see what happens when they come back from the break. Guys like Stetcher as well, who's played great. He could use a break, guys. Benoit obviously has been dealing with a lot of injury, like a lot of nagging issues and stuff. He says he's been dealing with a lot of bruises, some niggling injuries here and there. So all these guys could use a break. We'll see how fresh they come back from the Olympic break, guys. 3 in a row is great and all. If this hockey team had just went 500 on the homestead, you'd be even closer to a playoff spot. The Leafs are 5 points back after Buffalo losing tonight. But like I've been saying, guys, it is very, very difficult to see if this hockey team can come back and find their way into a playoff spot. Are they even that good enough to compete in the playoffs? That's another question. We've seen this hockey team have a lot of holes, of course, but when Morgan Rielly's not playing, it's just a different hockey team. It's just a way more cohesive hockey team, a way more defensive-oriented team, because obviously without Rielly in the lineup, the guys know there's not a guy logging 20 minutes a night, so they have to step up and perform. But hey, listen, those guys there are performing, and they're not doing what Rielly does tonight. What he usually does is be a detriment to the hockey team, guys. But let's see how these 3 weeks go with the Maple Leafs. Let's see how the break goes. Probably send Easton Cowan down. He hasn't played the last 3 games as well, so he needs to get some ice time now after not playing the last 3 games. Hopefully they do that. Good to see the power play get 2 goals on the man advantage. Leafs had a solid road trip, guys. Let's see how they do when they get back, guys. Really questionable things happening with this hockey team. We'll see what Brad Treliving has up his sleeve after the Olympic break, guys. So we'll love to hear your comments and opinions on this game tonight, guys. So like this video. Subscribe if you guys want to see more content. Go Leafs, go as always, guys. We'll see you guys on the next episode of Leafs Unfiltered. Ciao, guys.